Hello! Thank you for tuning into this week's reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them, of course. That being said, for the main part of the read, I'm using Gilded Tarot Royale by Chiro Marchetti. And the text is by Barbara Moore. If you need to freeze frame to see the spelling, I understand, definitely. I knew the website a minute ago, and my brain said, forget that information. I want to say it's llewellyn.com. Here, I'll just show it to you. It's there at the bottom, I just can't read it at the moment. So hopefully it's focusing on camera. If we get a little closer, it gives you some social media links too, so feel free to check that out. I want to say it's Llewellyn, I could be wrong. Oracle cards, spellcasting oracle cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lisbeth. That's how you spell their names. Website on the back that I always notice is shewhoisart.com. Feel free to check that out if you would like to. I think there's a couple other ones on there too, so I'll move it up so you can see anything you want to see. And I use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana. I substitute 22 for 0 for the Fool. And then I have a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana and a 4-sided dice to choose the element to match up with the minor arcana. They're from here, the math, I think it's mathartfun.com. Hopefully you can see that website if you want to. I think it's mathartfun.com. Alright. That being said, if you would like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get into your reading. Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Sagittarius? Why is that so low? Like I feel like this change is coming quite soon. Quite soon. Whatever this change is. Got the healing card, so it's not a bad thing. Okay. So, excuse me. So, I think we got to start with the current energy. Things are definitely changing, but it doesn't seem like it. Behind the scenes, things are changing. So, on the outside, it looks like everything's the same, everything's the same, everything's the same. Behind the scenes, you got the death card. Things are definitely changing, and I feel like this is for the best. It may not feel like it or seem like it in the beginning, but it is for the best. Could be one of those dark blessings things where it's like how it happens, I don't like it, but the outcome is actually better. It might be one of those. Is Sagittarius aware of this happening? Not fully. Maybe you're getting some of the things. Like something might seem off. I don't feel like I don't think you're on the in on this one. So even if you're like, well, they told me that's going to change, and they told me that's going to change, I feel like there's a bigger picture here. There's more going on. You are secure in this situation, so you're going to be fine. Whatever the changes are, it seems like you're okay. You just got to keep going the way you're going. You're fine. But I feel like this reading is going to touch more about like when the changes really start to happen, when it really starts to hit the fan. It's going to make you uncomfortable. And it's kind of like, I want to feel more stable. I want some resolution here. I want to know where I really stand. I want to know the details. And I don't think you're going to get them. Okay. The energy does move fast. Is that okay, though? Like, I do see the energy moving quite quickly. 7 of Wands. Half in, half out. The Devil card reversed. So, again, I see it coming in really fast. Things that weren't working are changed really fast. It could be, like, if this is a job thing, it could be, like, all of a sudden, like, 2 or 3 people don't work at the company anymore. Or all of a sudden, people are doing different jobs and there's like no notice, they're just doing different jobs, or somebody new is added to the situation. It's like yesterday I had this manager, today I have this manager, like just like that it changes. Seven of Wands, half in, half out, is kind of like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to hold the line for and what to let the line down for. I feel like I'm trying to move with the situation, but I'm trying not to be foolish. So I'm kind of like, I'm really confused about what I need to do here. When this change happens, there's advice for you. Don't just work. Don't just keep moving. Don't just keep working. Don't just keep moving. Don't just keep working. Okay. That's normally what you would do. You would just keep, all right, I'll just keep going. I'll just keep plugging along. I'll just keep doing what I need to do or what I can do. I'm getting that's not going to work well for you this time. Many times it does. That's your natural thing, right? This isn't working this time. When things change like that, step back, and I don't think you have to be involved in the controversy. You can. It's up to you if you feel comfortable with that. At the very least, step back, bring your effort down to like a quarter if you can, half, quarter, whatever you got to do. Watch what's playing out around you, because something has to kind of meld through. The truth is coming out, but when I get healing coming in, like, you know, it's weird because I keep getting truth. Like, you know, this is how we're healing. We're finding out what's been going on, who's been doing what, and why it's had to change the way it had to change. You're only going to get the healing if you slow down and listen to what's going on. It does feel uncomfortable, but if you know what actually happened and why this is going on and why that's going on, it helps set you up for a better, stronger future. Things happen really fast. I don't know, like, is it just me, or I don't know, is this just how I relate to fire energy? Because I'm like, it does seem to be going very fast. Now this energy is also adding into the pot, which is compatible to Sagittarius. And I keep, like, I know that I'm saying compatible. I'm not sure that this card or this person is going to be like best friend material, you know what I mean? Even though they're compatible with you, I feel like they might be keeping you at a distance. So that might be a little awkward for you. This is a whole new energy coming in. This is somebody who's breaking the chains or breaking the cage. Like this Eight of Swords, they're breaking that down. They're not allowing this here anymore. They're not letting you too close. Even though they're compatible with you, they're not letting you too close. Be aware of this energy. I like this energy. Sometimes it talks about Aries energy, which I like. Aries can use the truth as a weapon sometimes. Sagittarius doesn't seem to worry about it. They just kind of roll with it usually. But what I'm also getting is like, they're looking to solve problems. They're looking to figure out what's going on, and they're not looking to talk about it for days. They're just like, this is wrong, let's deal with it. That's wrong, let's deal with it. They're not going to play favorites. They're not going to be peaceful about it. So the fact that it's not letting you too close in the beginning, I don't think that's going to be a problem. In the sense of like, well, let them sort it out. Now, be careful what you say during this time. What can go for you can easily go against you at the same rate. So be careful what you say. You don't have to be in the middle of this situation if you don't want to be. But they're saying don't put too much effort in continuing what you've already done. Because even though it keeps you busy, I feel like that's going to work against you at some point. It reminds me of like you know, keeping busy and like, oh, I heard we might take a trip, so I packed out the car. I got everything packed in the car so we can go. And they're like, well, we're not going on a trip, and now that you did all that, you can undo it because we have to use that car for other things, get it all out, and then put it all back where it was supposed to go. I feel like that's where they're saying, don't just keep moving, because I feel like I'm not going to like that. It's like, you know, if you're planning for a trip and you fill up the car, all the things you're going to need, everything together, you know, you have to unpack the whole thing and put it all back where it was supposed to be to begin with. That I don't think you want to do that. Be careful what you say, be careful what you do. That's a good card, but I feel like I just feel like it's going to backlash, and I feel like somebody's going to use it against me later. Kind of like, yeah, Sag, you went ahead and did stuff you weren't supposed to, which we didn't have any damage, but it kept you busy. and we could have been using you for other things. You were tied up with that and cleaning up the mess you made, and you're like, well, it wasn't a mess, but they're like, well, yeah, it was, and I feel like we get into a little spat about that. It makes sense why you would keep moving, but I'm getting like, I just feel like somebody's going to gear it against me. I really feel like somebody's going to gear it against me. And it could be this energy that's actually compatible with you. Even though it's compatible, if it's not agreeable, it could be difficult for you. Even though it is compatible, if it's not agreeable, it could be difficult. Keep that in mind. We want to get past this moment. It seems to be coming fairly quickly. We want to get past this moment. Like, how long is the moment? Like, I know it's coming in quick, but how long does this moment last? Four of Cups reversed and the Wheel of Fortune. Well, it is a general read, which is basically telling me, well, who can say? Depends what you're dealing with. It depends what other people want from this situation. If you have certain players in it that want to drag it out, I feel like they will. For some of you, it'll be over as quick as it started. For others of you, it will drag out for a couple months. That Wheel of Fortune is saying, well, it depends on what you're dealing with. And it depends on who has an axe to grind and how, if they feel like they have gotten sufficient use of that axe, quite frankly. Be careful, hold back, listen more than you actively do. Do more stuff for yourself at this time. So, like, for example, if this is a work situation, instead of working towards the job, moving the job forward like you normally would, are there certain things where you could do some tutorials or things that will benefit you either way to increase your resume or increase your worth here, and then you could log in there so that way no matter what's going on, it's not something you would undo. Does that make sense? I've worked at a couple jobs like that where they gave you a list of, like, this website gave you a list of things you could do, like learning Excel, learning this, learning that helps the job, and like you could take those tutorials and just kind of like work more on that stuff if you're allowed to, and not stuff like, I'm putting together this report, or I'm packing the car with all this stuff. Don't do that stuff. Do self-improvement stuff that you can definitely, no matter what happens, you can definitely take that forward. Try to center it that way. Hopefully that makes sense. So do more stuff that's for you, that's going to benefit you, that you're going to be able to take forward no matter what. Like, somebody's not going to be able to deconstruct this and be like, oh, you wasted our time. No, it's self-improvement for you, so it's not. So center on that. Once we get past this, then you got some really good cards showing up. You got the Sun card, and I keep getting this overall situation should go well for you. It should. Again, I'm worried about that energy that's compatible. That doesn't have to be agreeable. It's a general read. Even though it's compatible, I'm nervous about it. I'm just like, I would keep a distance from that. It depends on what its goal is and what it wants. I would just be careful of it. When you get to the other side, things are supposed to go well for you. You should have a system where you can get involved in it. It could be a financial gain for you. It could be something going well on the other side. It's just getting through the tunnel here. When I'm on the other side, things going a lot better, right? Once you get there, once you're over there, I see some good cards, but like, what are we talking about? Eight of Swords reversed, so whatever the problem was, we seem to be out of it. The problem has been completely deconstructed. High Priestess half in, half out is telling me that there's going to be some people that are not happy about that. Just be aware of it. Navigate it as necessary. It's a general read. Just kind of navigate that as necessary. Be aware of that. There's some people that are not going to be happy about it, and they're going to want to turn back the clock. You do not want to get involved in that. Just be aware of it. Distance yourself. Like, if you're like, oh, this person, maybe this former manager or manager is here, and they want to go back to the way things were. That's not going to happen. Distance yourself from that peacefully, and just be aware that that's going on, and just, you know what I'm saying? Because we're not going back to the way things were. That wasn't working. You also have the Hierophant, King of Fire, which is the King of Wands, and the Reconciliation. Things will go back to normal. Well, normal. Things will go back to where you're looked at in a positive light later. I don't know what's going on during the change. Maybe things will be okay for you, maybe not. There's that random energy with the Wheel of Fortune was showing up. So it's kind of like, just be careful. Do things that are self-improving, things that you can keep for you. Don't work for other people, work for you. Is that what I didn't say before? Work towards things that are good for you personally, not good for others during the change. Because if you work for other people's benefit, I just feel like it's snapping back and just getting it right in the face. I just don't think that's nice. And I feel like if you do things more for you, like self-improvement, tutorials, whatever it may be, doing things that move your life ahead, doing research that you're definitely going to use at some point, one way or the other, I feel like that way that time isn't wasted and it doesn't get used against you. Because when you get to the other side here, things come back together like you're used to. Probably not, they're not being done the same way they were, but you're being treated more like you're used to on the other side of this. And it feels like it's a positive thing, so. Anything else I gotta say here? There's more coming out of this later. Like, I see these cards, but I feel like they're saying it's not going to make that much sense until you get there. I get this tree of life telling me there's more possibilities for you. You're going to find that other people are going to find that the fact that you're still here is a blessing, and they're going to want to keep you. They're going to try to find and give you things to keep you interested. They're going to want you more here, which is kind of like that reconciliation, like things coming back to more of a sensible place. They're going to want to keep you. They're going to want to keep you where you are. They're going to give you things to try to entice you to stay. So whatever's going on with this situation, it does seem like it's a little crazy. It does. Things go, all of a sudden they just change, and things seem unstable. Once things settle down again, you're going to be okay. You're going to be happier. Things are going to go better for you. Is there anything else I should say here? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.